quality, crafted by us, where ideas become reality. Crafted by us, just grab this opportunity. In this community, crafted by us. Yeah, in this community, crafted by us.
Hi, welcome to the 11th installment of our 12 Days of Christmas series. I'm Michelle Johnson from Crafted by Us, and I have a super fun project for us today. We're going to be making rings out of shrink plastic. So you can see I've got a bunch of stuff here. Now, one of the reasons that this is a fun project is because you're never quite sure how it's going to turn out. So let me share with you real quickly what I've got. I've got some shrink plastic, and this is graphics shrink plastic, and it's not shrink ink, but you can still buy shrink ink stuff in. I'm not sure if it would work exactly the same, but I imagine pretty close. So I have some of that, and then I have some brown, and then I have some clear. This stuff is matte colored. So we're going to do all three and with a couple different techniques, and then let's just see what happens. For this one, I've already gone and with my Stays On ink pad here, and I just went over the back of this and rubbed it with some ink. So that's why it's pink. Otherwise, it would be a matte finish. And then we've got brown and we've got clear. And then I've also got some little stamps here that have words on them. This has a little asterisk, and then they have little words like peace, joy, all those kind of words. So, and then you may have just heard my oven beep. I have my oven preheating right now, so I have it set to 300 degrees. And then I've got a couple other stamps here, as well as some white gesso. Not sure what's going to happen with that, but we'll see. So first off, you're going to want to measure the width of your ring. Now, what I've figured out is this is approximately 4 inches long here, and this is a good width, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp on the edge of this, and once I've stamped, I'm just going to cut it off into the shape of my ring. So I have my alcohol ink, or my Stays On ink right here, so I'm going to flip it over and stamp on this side. And I'm going to stamp the word peace, and I'm using this black Stays On ink. And I'm going to leave some space so I can put that little asterisk in there. So I'm just real quickly, I love how this looks when they shrink up. It looks so clear and sharp, the text does. Alright, so there's that. And then I'm just going to cut it with these scissors. Now, the wider I cut, the wider my ring's going to be. So this is going to be about a little over 1/4 inch, okay? And then what I like to do is round the edges, just like this, and just kind of turn it. That way I don't have anything sharp poking the inside of my finger after it shrinks up. So there's the first one, and I've got a cookie sheet over here with some parchment paper, and I'm going to set this on here, and I'm going to throw them all in the oven at the same time. So there's that one. Now this is close to the same width. So what I want to do here, I think, is I'm just experimenting now. So this is kind of what you have to do when you're at home with the stuff you have on hand, is experiment just a bit. I've got some white gesso on my paintbrush here, and I'm going to paint it onto my foam stamp. Remember when you use shrink plastic that as it shrinks, whatever color is on there tends to intensify. So if I stamp this and it's not the greatest image, I'm not going to worry so much about it, hopefully, because I think it'll intensify as it shrinks up. All right. I'm just going to do that one more time. I need some more paint. There we go. Now I have to admit, I've never used gesso, but I read somewhere that you could use acrylic paint, which is why I'm going to give this a try. So then I'm just going to cut this the width of my, however I want my ring. Now you know it's going to shrink about half as much, so it's really not going to be this wide. And then I do want to trim my edges here. There we go. Do the same thing on this side. That was not quite the same, is it? So, there's that one. I'm going to throw it on there. Oh, and that's a little bit longer than my other one. So I think I might trim that up just a bit here. Let me see. All right, that's better. Now let's, I have this clear stuff here, and I have this stamp. It's a bunch of numbers. Let me use this black stays on, and let's see. I just need it to be on the edge here, so I'm just gonna run these numbers along the edge. Alright. So that's a little bit harder just there. Can you see that? So using this as a guide, because I know that this is about 4 inches, I'm just gonna make, actually I think I could probably just get away with cutting this in half. So let me go ahead and trim this to size. Again, this is slightly more than 1/4 of an inch, but not quite 1/2 an inch, I would guess. And let me use this as a guide here. There we go. And now let's just like we did before, let's trim our edges. You don't have to do this. I just like it like this, I think. Now, because this was not in the package with the other stuff, it may be slightly different material, which means it might shrink differently. So we'll just have to see what happens. So if you're at home trying this, I would recommend, just doing 1 or 2 and practicing a bit before you commit a bunch of your resources and then find out it didn't work for you. Plus, it's fun kind of experimenting a bit. Alright, so there's another one. And I have one, let's see. Let's make one more while we're at it. I'm going to use the brown again, just because I haven't used acrylic paint before, and I'm really hoping that it'll turn out. So let's put these numbers. Let's paint some of this gesso onto these numbers here, like this. And see what happens. Hold on. get a few more here. Alright, there's that. Let's go ahead and trim that up. And then I'm going to trim this. So there you go. Those are trimmed. Let me hold this up for you and show what we've got. So now we just need to go put these in the oven. I'm putting them in the oven 300 degrees for 4 minutes. And then I've got this stirring spoon here that has a nice round piece on the end that seems to work well for me to get rings that fit my finger. So let me just explain real quickly what we're going to do. We're going to put these in the oven, and then when the timer goes off, I'm going to pull one at a time out by my fingers, and I'm going to wrap it around here until it cools and hardens. Now, the package recommends that if you're manipulating the plastic when it's hot, to use gloves. I don't have any gloves, that's why I'm using my fingers. So be careful if you're doing this. Find some gloves if you've got some, and something to wrap your plastic around to give it your shape. Let's go over to the oven. So the timer's gone off, and I'm going to open up the oven. And like I said, I'm just grabbing this with my hands. The recommendation is to use gloves. This is still warm, and I'm just going to wrap it around my piece of wood here and hold it, and then it gives it this rounded shape. So the timer's gone off again. I'm going to pull another one of these out and wrap it around. Now here's what I found. If you get it out, okay, let me just show you here. See how I pulled this out and it's not quite right? I'm going to throw this back in the oven and do the same thing. Pull it back out and wrap it around. But this is okay, because this will work. You just have to reheat it and then pull it out and wrap it, okay? So after you've done that, then you will have, here's one, and then you can see it has this opening on the back. Let me just take this off and show you. And then I put the ink on the inside. So there's that one. And then I have one more to show you. And this is the one that I was using that P stamp with. Can you see how neat that looks? Oh, it's a little bit blurry. But at any rate, so there you go. There's this one and that one. I hope you have fun with this project.
Crafted by us, a show with commonality. Crafted by us, where ideas become reality. Crafted by us, just grab this opportunity. In this community, crafted by us. Yeah, in this community.